There is a popular saying in leadership that if you think you're leading and there's nobody following you, you are only going on a walk. On this platform, you are going to learn principles of leadership. You are going to encounter different leaders. You are going to learn about how you can grow as a leader, how you can make an impact. My name is Samuel Eyim, and I'm the host for the leadership platform. I am a leadership coach, a lawyer by profession, a John C. Maxwell certified coach. I have been in corporate life in senior positions for several years, and now I run the Center for Transformational Leadership, where we train and coach leaders to become better leaders. And I invite you to go on a journey with us as we discuss the subject of leadership in the coming weeks.
This and every Saturday, you have opportunity to ask questions, share your views on important leadership matters.
Hello everyone, my name is Elsie and I'm excited that I just completed a 15-week journey with the CTL Africa team on the 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth by John C. Maxwell.
From the law of pain, I also learned that every problem introduces a person to himself. Honestly, till you face a problem, you wouldn't know the things that you actually have within you.
The journey for me personally was a wake-up call. Before I joined this journey, I wasn't actually learning at all. I wasn't adding any logic to what I knew.
So the law of trade-off is saying that you have to give up to grow up. So things that I think are not going to have maximum impact on my life, I have to trade them off.
I want to grow. I am not stopping now. I am continuing. And as far as I'm concerned, like it says, you cannot give what you don't have. I definitely will have to give what I have learned off to others and then get more so that I can continue giving. I am not going to be a reservoir. I am going to be a river, and therefore I'm going to continue learning to be able to give of my best.
Ordinary people can achieve extraordinary results on a consistent basis if they have a system, if they have a plan.
You see, the only thing you got to worry about tomorrow is making sure that you make today count. This is your day to learn how to change your world.
I need you to focus on why you were born.
Let's not lose what made us, but let's grip the future and let's become the best version for next year.
Most success is when a person develops ordinary qualities to an extraordinary degree through the application of hard, sustained work.
Now, for some people, this is not easy, but there is no good reason for not doing it.
You and I were created to make a difference.
Hello. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Leadership Platform. My name is Samuel Eyim, and I'm excited this evening to come your way with a leadership platform tonight, because from tonight and the Saturdays ahead, we are going to share with you extraordinary leadership stories. We're going to bring you amazing leaders and some of the principles that we've been learning over the period. We're going to see how others are implementing those principles in their lives, in their businesses, and how they are impacting the world and making a difference. So this is the first of the sessions, and I encourage you at this hour to invite your friends, especially your young folks who are struggling to find a way, to find a place in their society to tune in at this moment. So if you are connected on YouTube, on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, please introduce yourself. We know that so many of you, when you connect, you don't let us know your name. You watch and learn in silence. That's fine. But it's even better if you can just let us know where you are connecting from by sharing your name and where you're connecting from. That we can announce you to the whole wide world, because it is always our pleasure to know you are there. So please go ahead and let us know where you are. I can see Doggy Tony is already there with us on Facebook. He has introduced himself. So please go ahead, let us know where you are connecting from. I have to do a couple of announcements. We are warming up for Live to Lead 2022. Live to Lead is coming on October 7, 2022. It's a whole day event. We're going to have amazing speakers, amazing teachers to inspire us, to share lessons with us on leadership. Those of you who've been on Live to Lead over the years, you know how valuable it is. So the rate is 700, but we are doing an early bird offer now at 600 for all those who are interested. From now to end of August, if you register, you can register for 600 Ghana cedis, and you would have already, immediately you register, you would have access to your portal, and there are amazing bonus lessons awaiting you that you can begin to learn on leadership from different great leaders across the world. So don't wait till October 7. There's so much you can learn now on the platform when you register for only 600 Ghana cedis. The value you are getting is in the thousands. So please go ahead. I see George Akpabli Sr. Has introduced, is connected with Joyce. So George and Joyce, thank you so much for connecting. So this evening, we are going to have an amazing young lady who is going to share her story with us. Our lady is Awurama Kena-Asiedu, and Awurama is the creative lead of Rama Afrique. Rama Afrique is the company she's formed. Awurama is a determined entrepreneur working hard for success in her field, and we are going to see what she's doing very, very shortly. She graduated from the University of Ghana in economics and statistics. You can't imagine. She will tell us about that. However, she tried several times to enter into the job market and couldn't. So she decided that, why should I waste my time? I have some talents. Let me go work at it. She's going to tell us a bit more about herself. We are going to dissect her life and know every corner of her life. So I'm not going to bore you up front. I'm just leaving the rest of Awurama's story just here. I just wanted to just tell you that this is an amazing leader.
Rama is doing great things. She's one of those who is making a difference in the world, influencing the world positively, and impacting several of the sustainable development goals. And she's going to tell us more about that. So at this point, we're going to just share with you a couple of videos about Erama's business, and then we will come back and meet Erama herself, and she's going to tell us her story about how, as a young girl, she started this business using scrap and waste materials to make bags and dress shoes and do different things. And today, she's making amazing, amazing, amazing things. All right. So I can see Martin in Siako also has joined. I know several of you are joined already, but go ahead and introduce yourself. Share the link, like our page, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you will be notified. So at this point, Kofi, if you are ready, let us go and see what Erama is doing with a couple of her videos. Is Kofi there? Hello, Kofi. We are waiting for you to share the videos. All right. Kofi, can you speak up?
The video are still loading, please. So,
pardon?
The video are still loading. They are not ready yet.
All right. Okay, so we will come back and watch those videos. But at this point, therefore, it is my pleasure to welcome Erama. Today, we are going to go differently. We're going to just interview Erama and share her story. So, Erama, it is my pleasure at this point to invite you to the leadership platform.
Hello.
All right, so that is Erama. Erama, you are very welcome. Thank you for coming to the leadership platform.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, so you will speak up a bit. All right. So, Erama, I think we will start from the beginning. All right. Tell us a bit about yourself. Who is Awurama Kena-Asiedu?
Okay, like you rightly said, my name is Kena-Asiedu, and I come from Kwewa Betifi in the Eastern region. I completed my university education at the University of Ghana, Legon, in economics and statistics. But currently, I'm into entrepreneurship full time. I do bags with leather, fabric, plastic waste, and any other thing that you can think of. Anything bag, that's where you find me. That's basically what I do.
All right. Okay. So, yeah. So, but tell us a bit about your family background, because a lot of what we do also come from how we grew up. So, tell us a bit about your family. Who are your parents? Where do they come from? How many children did you grow up with? And were you the big sister beating the small ones, or the smaller one being beaten by all? Tell us
I was
more.
actually the smaller one, but my elder siblings were quite nice to me. We are a family of five. My mom, my dad, and then I have two older siblings. My parents were the typical definition of the government sector workers. They believed strongly in the whole system of going to school, complete school, get a good paying job, just the normal structure that works in Ghana. So my mom was a teacher in one of the public schools, and my dad was an accountant. They are both on retirement currently. So I am the last one, like I said, and I have an elder sister and an elder brother. Growing up was quite peaceful. There wasn't much of drama at home. Yeah, it was quite a small family, just looking out for each other, trying hard to persevere in our own small way. And just my dad will always say he's a believer of education. So for him, it was always education, get your A's, get your ones, gets a good job until entrepreneurship came in, of course. So my normal, looking at my family structure, I think I should have been in the government space or the corporate space by now, but our paths are not always the same. Things sometimes just differ. Yeah.
All right. So, but where did you go to school? I mean, with this kind of family background, everybody will say maybe you should be looking for a job because you're the last baby, and baby last they kakra. So, but now you are doing the hard thing in entrepreneurship. Your parents were not. Where did you start school from, and how did your school
Okay, so
progress?
I attended junior high school at Christian Home located at Dansuman. And then from there, I continued to Wesley Girls High School where I did business. From Wesley Girls High School, I moved on to the University of Ghana where I did economics, math, and statistics. But then I did a combined major in economics and statistics. That was with
You
the
are
University of
powerful.
Ghana.
Oh. Economics, please stop there. You mean economics, mathematics, and statistics? Hey,
Yeah, that
this
was the
girl,
combination.
this is tough. And
Yeah,
you
it was.
passed. You passed your exams.
Well, I
You
didn't
didn't,
fail.
you didn't buy any questions from anywhere.
No, no. It was quite a tough one, to be honest. It was a very tough combination. Everything was difficult from the economics to the mathematics to the statistics. There was no easy path, but yeah, I think we managed to sail through.
All
So that
right.
was a university life,
Okay.
basically.
So then, I mean, I just want to get a bit of how was university life? What kind of student were you? You know.
I don't think I was the best of students in university, if I'm being very honest, because I was combining education with the entrepreneurship. I started Rama Week after level 100. And it was quite difficulty trying to combine the two, trying to combine the education perfectly with the business. Some way, somehow, there was no meeting point. I had to do a lot of trial and error to find my feet. Yeah, so initially it wasn't going too well. It's either business was being affected by academics or academics was being affected by business. But getting to the end of it, we managed to find our feet. So it did go well eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that I mean, you mean did you say that you started Ramafik after in level 100?
Yes, so Roma Freak was actually started on campus. I used to just wrap my old shoes with African prints. That was how Roma Freak started. If I see a shoe or I've been using a shoe that I love, there's no way I'm throwing it away. I'll just have to find a way to refurbish it. And that's how I ended up finding how to wrap shoes, old shoes with African prints on YouTube. So it was basically that. We wrap old shoes and bags. I think I have a sample here. Just a second. Right. So I
Okay.
have a bag right here. This is one of our bags that I did on campus. I kept it for posterity's sake. So this is one of the bags that I wrapped up back on campus. I still have it. I occasionally use it
How old
for.
is that bag? If you
This
wrapped it
is
on campus.
2014, so that's about 8 years. Yes, about
Wow.
8 years. Yes, it's one of my very first projects that I worked on, and for myself, so I decided to just keep a copy. So that's what we used to do: wrap the bags. You bring your already made bag, and then we wrap it up for you, or you bring your already made shoe, and then we just wrap it with African prints for you. That was the starting points for Rama Fleet, and this was somewhere level 100, vacation, getting to level 200.
Okay, so basically you started wrapping your own shoes with African print, and
Yes.
then so it was not like you set out to do a business, but you just love to wrap to do your own things, or what? And how did it turn into a business?
I actually didn't see myself as an entrepreneur when I started. Like I said, my family is the typical go to school, finish university, look for a job, that kind of family. So entrepreneurship was not something I was really paying attention to. But then I started wrapping the shoes with African prints, the bags with African prints, and friends and family just started spreading the word that, oh, if you have an old shoe, you can bring it to Rama, she would wrap it for you, to wrap it for you. And I used to do it for my roommates and everyone for free. But at a point, I felt, I mean, if people want the service, then I might as well charge something small for it and do a better job than just the YouTube work. and that's where the whole Rama Freak itself started.
I see. So whilst you were on campus, you started doing this, and then you were making some money. Was
Yes.
it motivated by the money you were going to get, or what was the motivation when you start doing for others?
Initially, it was just the excitement of doing something that people like. It was genuinely the
Mhm.
excitement of doing something that people want to patronize. People are interested in knowing more about it. People want to be a part of it some way, somehow. And friends are interested in, oh, I know the girl who does the, it was just that excitement when it started. It wasn't really money based when it took off. Like I said, I was just doing it for myself until it became a brand or it became a business. So for me, it's the other aspects came along the way. The passion and excitement from doing the products and seeing the customer smile made my day. So I think that was the booster initially. So other factors came to play.
Okay. So now take us through your journey. So you're on campus, you started doing with family and friends, and you're excited about your output, and then you finish your university. Of course, like everybody, did you look for a job?
Yeah, so I after university I did my national service at Ghana Standard Authority, and after national service I decided to actually do a bit of job hunting, but then I realized that most of the jobs on the markets were paying very very terrible salaries. Some were paying as low as 300 cedis then, and some were paying like the salaries were quite low. So I figured I had built a brand and I had customers who were paying customers right from 2013 to 2016 when I did my national service. I was very certain that if it was 300 cedis a month that I was going to get from working for another brand, I could equally get 300 cedis if I put in extra effort in Rama Freak. And that's when I finally came to the decision to do Rama Freak full time. It wasn't an easy decision to make because, like I initially said, family was more of why are you not looking for work, because everybody was thinking, I mean, you've done economics and statistics, that's a good combination. So you could easily get a job if you try harder. But after a few tries, I figured if the salary was going to be something around 300 to 400 cities, then if I put in extra efforts in Rama Freak, I could equally make that amount. And that was when I made the decision to do it full time.
And did it work out in terms of, did you make the 300, 400 plus more in a month when you make that decision?
Yeah, well, the very first 3 to 5 months, I was almost regretting my decision. I mean, all through this, I was still trying hard to get a job. I'm very sure if I'd gotten a job that was paying pretty well, I would have I would have probably given up. But the job market wasn't very favorable. It wasn't nice to me. So I kept putting my efforts and all of my energy in Rama Free. Yeah, but now we are doing pretty well, gratefully.
Good. So now tell us, how is the business now? Tell us, walk us through Rama Freak. What do you do? What are the products and how do you do it?
Okay, so for now, Rome Africa is doing pretty well. We do the production on site. At first, we used to wrap it up, but then now we can do the bags right from scratch with the African prints. So we do not have to wrap an old bag up anymore. We also do bags with plastic waste. We decided to incorporate a bit of plastic waste into our production process as a way of curbing plastic pollution, and that has actually been very great as well. The feedback with regards to the plastic waste concept has been incredible. And generally, I think we are in an era where people are beginning to understand identity a lot better. People want to identify as Africans. People want to be affiliated with the whole African culture. And you can't put African print aside if you talk about African culture. So that has become a plus for the market or industry that I find myself. So far it's been pretty good. It's been very good.
Okay, so tell us a bit about how the plastic bag fits into the bag process in your production line. How does it work? Where do you get these bags from? And I mean, how does it work?
Okay, so with the since we do our bags from scratch now, since we are able to do the production of the bags right on site, we are able to incorporate any other thing that we want to. So with the plastic waste, we have this. Sorry. So this is how the plastic waste bags are made. This is a sample of the inner lining of the bags. We use the normal sachets that we find on the streets. We wash them up and then we stitch them up. So if you watch closely, you see the stitches from the back and then the front. So we put them together and then we get very long strips and then we combine them to make yards of plastic waste, which we use for the production. A sample of the bag is right here. Sorry. Yeah, so this is a sample of the bag. We have the outside being a normal bag and then the interior being the plastic waste. Someone may ask, why don't we just go to one of the water production companies and then get a lining that is made? They already have, they already have the water sachets in yards. But then the whole purpose is to curb plastic pollution. It's not just to use water sachets to line the bags, it's to make an impact environmentally. And to do that, that means that we have to take the normal water sachets we find in the gutters and the landfills and the environment, and then we recycle them to make these bags. So this is how the bags are made. We often do the plastic waste on the inside because we did a survey and realized that most people do not appreciate the plastic waste being on the outside. They are not very comfortable holding bags that are made with plastic waste on the outside, but then they are very okay if it's on the inside. And that's how come we ended up doing them on the inside. However, we have NGOs and other companies who come around and they want to see the plastic waste. So depending on what the customer wants, we do it for them.
All right. So how do you get this plastic bag? They are all over there in waste. How do you get them?
So we have people who actually sell them. I never knew till I ventured into this business and decided to ask around and do my research. So there are people whose sole purpose or sole job is to collect these plastic waste in the environment and then put them in heaps. So they gather them in plastic waste and then you weigh them and then they have their own charge, their own amounts affiliated to each kilogram. So if you buy 2 kilograms, there's a charge to it. If you buy 10 kilograms, there's a charge to it. So that's how we often get our plastic waste. Another way we do that is we used to create this trash for cash system where people will bring their waste to our end and then we weigh it just like the normal local setting does, and then we give them the money per the weight that they bring. We also have very benevolent customers and individuals who just want to help the cause, so they bring it to us at no cost. And also there are companies that are affiliated to this whole green climate green agenda who also bring us their plastic waste at no cost. So these are some of the few ways that we get the plastic waste and then we use them for the bags.
So how many people are involved in this whole process as far as your Ramafric line is concerned?
So if we are to put the direct and indirect employment together, we are looking at about 130 people, because it ranges from the people who bring the plastic waste to us, the people who even drive the motors to bring the plastic waste to us, the women who wash them, the people who stitch them, all of these people who help in the various phases of Ramafric and Ramaplast. So putting all of that together, I think it will be around 130.
About 130 people.
Yes.
That you are creating direct and indirect employment for, exactly. Because you decided that you were going to, clean the environment, use waste plastics as part of your production resources.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So instead of only you going to get one job and being paid even 1,000, now you are helping so many other people. What are some of the other benefits that you see in using this innovative approach to producing your bags?
For me, I think that I love to see the impacts that it makes, especially with the direct employees. So for the Ramaplast process, for instance, we collect the plastic waste, we wash them, we stitch them up, before we actually get to the production of the bag stage. And all these are various phases that are done by various individuals, from mothers to younger ladies, mostly the washing is done by the women. And we also train them on how to use the sewing machines to stitch up the plastic waste. So they do the they do the stitching of this particular one. So aside, they wash it, put it together, and then they are able to stitch it together for us to have our yards of plastic waste to use. So for me, I think the impact that I get to see, which is the improvements of the lives of these individuals. When you talk to some of them, they're able to open up and tell you that the money is probably not in abundance, but then the little that it gets helps the home, helps to take care of the kids, and for me, that is a plus. I think the indirect one is the fact that you know that you are curbing the plastic waste. You probably will not be able to see the impact because we use plastic waste to do bags all the time, but I still walk the streets and see plastic waste on the ground. So it makes it difficult to assess your impact in that field. But I mean, if you know that you are using it for something beneficial and you know that you are curbing the or reducing the plastic waste in that sense. So that is also a feel good moment for me.
Great. Now, we know that one of the big things that entrepreneurs complain about is capital. Tell us a bit. How much did you start this whole business with?
If I'm being honest, I think I started with 8 cities because I used to wrap the shoes up. So it wasn't something that was so capital intensive. All I needed to do was to buy the African print fabric, and then I'll use my own manpower to do it. So I wasn't even paying for labor then. If I'm to put my labor together and everything, probably around 20 cities at that time.
Around 20 cities at that time.
Yes. If I'm putting labor, glue, everything else inclusive, then probably around 20 cities at that time. So it wasn't something that was capital intensive, but then it was rewarding regardless because I was doing it at my own pace and with my own energy. I knew the skill and understood the processes that it's involved. So I was able to know when to cut costs, how to go about things, and it made life quite easier for me.
Now, but when you made a decision after service that you wanted to do this, did you think about how much money you would need to do this, and how
Before
much
I
money was
finally made the
involved?
decision, yeah, so before I finally made the decision to do Roma Freak full time, like I mentioned, I'd been doing Roma Freak from 2013 all the way to 2017. I had done my national service as well, and I've been able to, accumulate something. I knew it wasn't an industry or a venture that was going to require millions to start. I knew that if I took it a step at a time, it was all going to be a success. I didn't start with an electrical machine even. I started with a manual machine. I understand the fact that it's a step-by-step approach. I don't need to get it all set at once. But then with time, you get things going and you're able to actually be proud of the progress because you're able to look back and go like, oh, I started from here, now I'm here. And it's quite visible. So for me, I believe in step-by-step approach, and that's all I keep doing. That's sincerely all I keep doing.
All right. So what you are saying is that you don't need to have all the capital, all the resources, hundreds of thousands before you start the business. You step by step, as you're saying, you start from what you have. That's what you're
Yes,
saying. All right. Now,
exactly.
when
And I
you
actually
decided,
realized that if you start step by step, you're able to understand the journey better and then prevent certain errors on the way. So much that as you grow, you're able to grow freely as compared to just trying to start everything at once. Sorry for cutting
all
you.
right. That
You
is
were
good
saying
because a
something,
lot
sorry.
of us think that without much money, you can't even start a business. And when I speak to a lot of young people, they will say, well, if I can get some money, then I'll start some business. And what do you say to that kind of philosophy that,
I think firstly, I would have it to be biased on my part to say it's not the truth because every industry differs. My industry probably did not require millions, but another industry might require something a bit higher than 20 or 8 cities. But I think regardless of the situation, we have to start from a point. When you start from a point, then you can progress from there. If, for instance, you want to go into agriculture, you don't need thousands of acres to start. You can actually start from your backyard if there is a backyard, and then from there you can get your progress from there. If you are able to actually do that, you're able to accumulate a number of customers or clients so much that you are certain that if I expand, the expansion is going to meet the demands of the customers. There are so many people who invest in buying, for instance, I let me use my field. For instance, I want to um, get about 50 machines or 100 machines. So I invest in buying the machines. I do not know who I'm going to give the bags to when I finish doing the bags. So what will be the point of investing in it if I do not have someone at the other end to receive them? But then now that I've been able to do it on a step-by-step approach, I know for sure who is receiving it at this point in time, what I'm doing, and I know that whichever investment that I make, I'm going to get the returns.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much for that. There's one little bit I want to ask. Now you finish your graduate course and you've decided you wanted to do this full time. Did you have to learn this bag making anyhow, or you just continue with your talent that you had that you were using in school? What else did you do to be able to do what you are doing now?
Okay, so to be very honest, I don't think it started off as a talent because I learned the skill on YouTube. I learned how to rub the shoes on YouTube. And then along the line, I realized that the glue was just not sticking the shoes hard enough. I didn't want to be doing shoes that keep getting spoiled and the customers keep getting back to you. So I went around looking for artisans, and that was actually when I ventured into the retailing aspect because I realized that, oh, there are actually people who do the bags and the shoes from scratch. And this was actually from my attempt to get people who would help with the stitching of the shoes and the bags very well. Because with time, people bring shoes that you don't know how to go about this one. This one is not a YouTube thing. You know that you need a professional to actually help you with this. And that was how I started learning the whole bag making, because with working with artisans, you get to experience things hands on. You get to see what they do, you get to be a part of the process. So I started learning with the artisans unofficially until I decided to go to fashion school and then learn how to sew outfits and then bags in
Now,
20.
Ram, I don't want to miss that point. You are saying that Awurama graduate, economics, statistics graduate. You
Yes.
went and you learned from artisans who've never been to school. I don't want to miss that bit. Is that what
Yes,
you?
yes. It was actually a very wholesome experience because you realize that in as much as you've been to school, you don't know it all. You'll be amazed at the things that these people actually know, the knowledge that they have, and the way they are able to impact your life in ways that you even didn't think was possible. They have the experience from aside the whole work experience, they have the life experience, and they are able to give very valuable advice that can transform life. So for me, working with them was always interesting. They learned from me and then I learned from them. I mean, at a point I used to be the lady who would pick up the calls if someone is talking in English. They will call me that, oh, Ira, will be back shop and no, bro, for not just over boy, and I come around, I speak the English. When I need their help, they're also there to help me. So I think it was one of the wholesome experiences that I was able to come into contact with through Rama Freak.
All right. Okay, so thank you so very much, because that is so important, because a lot of the time we think that, okay, because I'm a graduate, I can't go so low and be learning from others. But that lesson of leaders being learners, a leader is ready to learn from everybody. You can learn from everybody. Thank you so very much for that. Okay, so let's come to, now we know we've seen the business. Kofi is still trying to struggle with the videos. So we'll see if he's able to get the video. Kofi, if you're able to get the videos ready, please, we'll be very happy. We want to see how the plastics are cleaned and so on. All right. So now let's talk about your team that you lead. You're having a chain directly and indirectly of about 130 people, but you have a core team that you are working with. Tell us a bit about your leadership style. How do you lead these people, all the chain of people through to your production and so and so. Tell us a bit about your style of leadership.
For me, I think that a leader is supposed to equally respect her or his followers. So respect is not something that you go about demanding. When you give or show people respect, they equally respect you back. And in my case, I end up working with people who are thrice or twice my age. So respect is an important bit that I can't let go. You know, these are older people, and you can't just talk to them anyhow or treat them anyhow simply because you are the one paying them. And also another thing that I like to encourage is to let them bring on board their ideas. So often when we get a new project, we sit together, everybody brings their ideas, we draw a plan, and then we are able to move from there. I've realized that when people feel more involved in the process, their commitment to the process is top notch. Like they go all out for it because some way somehow they feel, oh, I said we should do it this way. If it doesn't go this way, Rama is going to say that your idea didn't work, you know. And in as much as we laugh about it, I think that these workers find it fulfilling that they are able to be a part of the total process. So in my leadership style, it's more of encouraging them to also bring ideas on board, and then making the workspace a friendly environment so much that when there's a problem, you can't approach me. Because if you are being very honest, most of these workers spend more than half the day at work. So if the workplace is a hostile environment, then what is the point coming there in the first place? So I do my very best to make it like a second home to them while ensuring that the right thing is being done. It's not a very easy thing to do. It's not that there's usually a bit of conflict of interest when it gets to that part. The part where they have to do the right thing and still make them feel like they're at home. But then we are finding our feet with that as well.
Good. That's so I'm picking respect for mutual respect. I'm picking involvement, participatory, even in the design of the process. You don't just impose your designs. You're asking everybody to be involved, creating a homely, friendly environment, whilst at the same time insisting on quality things to be done. Those are some of the things that I'm picking from how you lead your team. Is that right?
That's very right.
Okay. Now, so tell us now, what is the market like? How big is Rama Afik today? Starting from wrapping your shoes, 1, 2 shoes for friends. Tell us, how big is Rama Afik? Who are you serving? Who do you supply to? Where do your goods go?
Okay, so we have retailers across we have people in Zambia, we have people in Canada, we have people in the US, we have someone in Seychelles, and then we have another person, California. Yeah, I think California. So these are some of the people that we retail to. And like I initially mentioned, we are in an era where everybody wants to be affiliated with the African culture. Everybody wants to be identified with Africanism. So it makes it a lot easier to sell the African print idea, the African concept to people. And that is one of the things that has improved our sales and then our marketing strategies. Roma Freak used to wrap shoes, but then now we produce them in house, and that is a great progress for me because when I started wrapping, I didn't think there was a point where production was going to happen until I started working with the artisans. So for me, that is one of the progress reports that I love to read about. And currently, aside the Rama Freak, the doing of the African print bags, we have been able to add the plastic waste aspect to it, which is also doing extremely well. We have NGOs who come to Ghana and all they want to do is to just patronize our products as a way of also helping with the SDGs. And also, it serves a two-in-one purpose. They are giving these children bags while helping to clear plastic waste from the environment. So generally, I think the addition of the Rama Plus idea to the Rama Freak idea has been amazing. It's been good.
Great. All right. So that is very interesting. So, but in Ghana, who are your customers? Who are some of your customers?
In Ghana, we do customized bags. When I say customized bags, I mean people can come in with their own designs and then we get them done for them. So in Ghana, we mostly work with corporate brands. So instead of having to import their conference bags or their work bags from China or wherever else. They just come to us with their designs, and then we get it done right here in Ghana for them. And that also helps because aside creating employment, they're able to see the production process. They're able to, it reduces the anxiety of waiting for imports. Is it on its way? I mean, is it going to come in the style like demanded? It's over here. They're able to do a sample, wait for it to be approved before we do the bulk production. So these are some of the people we serve in Ghana, aside the normal people who love African prints accessories.
Great. All right. We're going to very soon ask people to come in to ask questions and add, but let me just ask a few more questions now. Where is Rama Afri going from here? What is the vision? 10 years from now, where should we be seeing Rama Afri? What's the vision? What's the strategy going forward?
I actually look forward to Roma Week where there's a training option. We currently do that. We have a bit of online training here and there, but I believe in reducing unemployment by helping individuals with skills. Despite the fact that I went to the university, I am living off the skill that I learned. And I believe that learning a skill is never waste. So regardless of where you find yourself, wherever you work, if you learn a skill, it's never waste. So that's what we are looking forward to doing. We are looking forward to doing a lot of training, which will mean having a lot more machines and having a lot more experienced workers to or teachers to help train these people. So in the next 5 years, we are looking forward to that. We are really looking forward to that.
So we're going to have a Rama school, Rama Afri training center, training so many people to make bags and shoes and a big factory. Is that what we are looking at?
Yes. It sounds like a plan.
All
So
right.
that's what we are working on.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That is really, really good. But let me ask you this, Rama. You're a young girl. I don't want to ask you your age because I don't want all those guys to know your age. But I know it. I will hide it. If they want to know, they will come and see me because you guys don't want your age. But you're a young girl, if you want, baby lass. There's all this myth about women, in business or whatever. If you're looking for a job, the men will not give you a job without asking for some favors. Even passing exams, you have to have favors. And a lot of women seem to have this kind of, there's so many myths and misconceptions about women and women in leadership. And we have a lot of young people who are just waiting for some rich sugar daddy to come and give them some things. What is your take? What is your experience with these kinds of thoughts? And what is your position and your advice on to young women about this?
For me, I believe that it's all about the value you give and the value you receive. And I wouldn't deny the fact that yes, there are men who would want to take advantage of the position they are in or the space they find themselves. There are men who are willing to go all out because it's a young entrepreneur. But I've realized that if you have something to offer, then you are able to actually negotiate around these things. If you're a young lady and you have nothing to offer, but you want someone to give you free money, then it becomes a problem. But often I have realized that if you have something to offer, oh, I have a product to offer, I have this consultation I can give. You are running a company, I can do bags for you. I have something to offer, then I'm able to control affairs a little bit. But then if you have nothing to offer and you're just waiting for someone to spoon feed you, then I think that's where the higher advantage is being taken. And also I think that the universe it's a beautiful space where if the universe realizes that you're helping yourself, it will help you out. I have received so many favors, not just because I'm a lady, but because of the field that I've decided to venture in, especially with the employment of an amputee and then with the use of plastic waste for school bags. These are fields that people who hear of it are first and foremost intrigued. Everybody wants to know, how can I help this lady to make it better? How can I help her to employ more disabled people? How can I help her to use more of plastic waste? So like I mentioned earlier, it's all about value and what you are bringing to the table. If you are bringing something important to the table, then people will be willing to support you just because they understand that they need to support you. So yes, if you're a young lady out there, just I feel if you are able to add any kind of value to your life, it will be a good thing to do to help yourself and to help your generation.
Great. Thank you so very much. And I'm sure that a lot of people have some questions, but I think Sarah says she has the video. So let's see if Sarah is able to help us show some of the videos or one of them, whichever you have. Let's see how it goes. And then
gata ne da ho etimi yiri pa eyi a etwe bottle so e rubber fin mu ne ade pure nwura ebi okura na etwoku etimi ba bedu ye dem e da no kra ne e da ho na dwe eti wa sa da ne so ne to kese pa e be wura ho ye da ho ye se aye ne ma fo ne matches na fo ye be hwa nsuo no e du ho kra wutie mu kra da se ewo mu kura na abaye dem nyina eto da bi kura sabi me modin eja na kura no itimi twi bebu ya bubu ana no bebre ayi se njo na atwenko na wapla na wapeki piota robes no ewo mu na wasi anu so eto da bi efi ho ya peche ne ade nti mo ntimi me mo am kwan kura no ma pie no ma ko school aja no we pam se no esiba aja no we pam se no edo no pa me ni nuanom a ye ni adwuma papa ye nyina ye hia ne yaba baby a ye piota robes no ye hia wompo no mbo mechi wa ha no se no nti ye ba ebi twitwa na ebi nso e wo hye na ye hata na ebi nso eyiyi de ahye robem enye kese nso eye.
I started using plastic waste in 2019 after the June 3rd flood. Mainly the water sachets is one of the most popular pollutants in Ghana. And by doing bags since 2013, I figured if I wanted to help to curb the plastic pollution problem, then it will be easier to infuse that with my bag production process.
Ne nyina ye sika samu ne sika a wode be kwa ha bia na wo se ja wo hye ho no ma wo sika ba kwa ha bia eni je pa se so da bi kura me so le ya ye hu ba bia ye ko e bia pa se wo ko pe pa kura dia wo nya cho ba kura nko e den ase so wo ko pe assistant certificates we certificate den an sana ya fa wo cho ba enso we ni ba ye de abebo a ye so le ana pa ye hu se ye nyina ye ba ha nya ba abebo ani nya bibi kakra ko fi akotwe nkala.
All right, so that's Awurama's team in action there. I think there's another one with some of the bags that she has done. Because if that is ready, we can show that. Then we would I would ask Sarah to see if she has some questions and others who have some questions. Let's see. All right. So those are some of the products. You saw those beautiful bags and all the other products. So if you want bags, you know where to go. All right. There are so many comments, but let me bring Sarah and let's see. Um, Sarah,
Yes,
what do you say about what do you say about this story of Rama and what she's doing? I mean,
I mean, it's really mind blowing. It's really mind blowing, and I love the fact that what Irama did is that she saw a need, right, and therefore it started first off as a hobby. And what I loved about what she said was the fact that I just wanted to serve. It's the word serve that really caught my attention. To serve. It wasn't about money from the beginning. It's just to make an impact and to serve. So for all of us who are entrepreneurs, if we serve, the money will come. That's one takeaway that I'm getting from Irama. And I also love the fact that she was saying, I didn't have to know all the answers, just taking it step by step. So in our journey as entrepreneurs, we shouldn't look at 10 years from now, but even minute by minute, day by day, as we move on to the journey, along the journey. And the people that she wants to serve, it's not even just the product, but looking at people who are differently abled. That's what I will say, differently abled, and making them even feel valuable with what they can do. And as the woman said, when we wake up in the morning, we come here, we know that we'll be able to contribute and at the end get something for ourselves. So you can see even this mentality of contribution coming from the women. I'll stop here for there are so many things I can say, and even for her course, these are some of the pillars that she can put in her course. So when the Rama is ready, I think CTL and I will be able to give you some ways how to build your course. And
Sure.
you underlined also the fact that you have to build capabilities and skills. That is what will make the difference. Yes, you can have the intellectual and theory, but it's
all right. Thank you so much, Sarah. Um,
capability and skills. We are in that space where we share knowledge and we share capabilities. I'll stop here and have others also contribute. Thank you so much,
all right.
Irama.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Rama, that's great. There's so many good comments coming up. Let me go back. Let me go to the comment sections. Find some water to drink. I'll come back to you. If there are some questions and comments, just take notes. And then when we come back, you would come and respond to the questions that will come up or the comments, and then we'll take it from there. So I have okay, George is here, Martin Siako is here, Emmanuel Danfo is watching from Chifihimai. I have Dennis Ahe from Sakumono, Elkana from Tanzania, Cynthia Martinson is here. Says good evening, house. Philip Obran is here. Ohima Glory says hi. Natalia is here. Good evening. Fayatu is here. Good evening. And Natalia is saying, so let's say there is a ban on use of sachet water. How will the business survive? So Raman, note that question from Natalia. If there is a ban on sachet water, how would the business survive? A good question there to think about the future. Rebecca Owusua says, great lessons. God bless you. Na says, hello. Natalia says, knowledge is shared. And he was recapping some of the things you were saying. You sharing knowledge, participation is key. We have Doggy says, committed and persistence is key in achieving required results. Na Adolfo says great and inspiring. Cynthia says great. We are proud of you. Okay, so those are comments for you. Dorothy Aiken says, I am enjoying the presentation by Awurama. Very interesting work. She's doing good job. Okay, Martin Insiako Frando says, determination, being focused, and inspiration are the key factors. Awurama, God bless you for inspiring me this evening. Nadufu says, this is very impressive. Congratulations, Rama Plus. And Natalia says, service is key. All right, so I'm not seeing any questions here. If you have any questions for Rama, please do. So there was only one question, so I'll bring Rama back and let's see if she has an answer to Natalia's question. Then I have a couple more questions for Awurama. All right. Awurama, Natalia is asking if there's a ban on sachet water, what happens to this aspect of our business? I'm not hearing you.
Okay.
Are you
Yes.
muted?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I've muted it. Sorry for that. Yes. So I was saying that the main reason why Rama Plus exists in the first place is to help recycle plastic waste, is to help curb the plastic pollution problem. So if there comes a time where there's no plastic waste, that means that actually the problem has been solved, because the whole aim of doing Rama Plus is to help solve the problem. So if there's no plastic waste to work with, it's actually a good thing, because that means that the problem that we are working so hard to solve has been solved. So we are looking forward to that regardless. It looks like it might take a while, because in the developing sector or the developing countries, plastic is almost the cheapest packaging element that you can use. So we are looking at the future. It doesn't look like something that is going to happen anytime soon. But then if it does happen, it will be a good thing for the environment and for the world at large.
All right, good. All right, so thank you so much for that answer. Now, Adolfo is raising one of the questions I was going to ask you. He says, could she share any challenges she has encountered? This is a beautiful story, but the beauty is not all. What are some of the ups and downs? What are the challenges? I know yesterday when I was talking to you, there were some big changes happening around. You were a bit down, business issues. What are some of the challenges that you go through day and night when you wake up in the morning, so that we can balance a good story with the reality of what we have to go through to be able to achieve greatness as you are doing?
Sure. So with Roma Freak, when we started off, I would say that our biggest challenge was the artisans. Yes. Despite the fact that I used to go there and then have a good time with them, most of them were not time conscious. Most of them were not focused on the quality that I wanted. And generally they weren't treating the business the way I wanted it to. Aside that, the disappointment from them was terrible. You tell them that the customer needs an order done by Thursday, have it delivered by Thursday, and on Thursday morning they are telling you they can't find the fabric you brought, and stories like, I mean, all of these things motivated me to go learn how to do the craft myself, which has been a game changer for me. But when I started off, it was one of the things that I used to get stressed about, because how are you going to explain to a customer that your product is not ready and you don't even have any control over the situation? So that was one of the major challenges that we faced. Another challenge that we constantly face is generally working with human beings. It's everybody has their persona, everybody has their temperament, everybody has their way of dealing with issues, everybody has their background. I mean, we are talking about mothers here. We have problems, marital issues, from children issues. They all bring this baggage to work. So for me, one of the challenges that I face is having to deal with every individual and the baggage that they bring on board. That's one of the things that I also struggle with. And also, another thing that I struggle with now is the ever changing prices of things. You go to town today, there's the price is this way, you price your product this way, tomorrow it's not like that, and it ends up being a problem. So these are some of the issues that I faced and still face as it stands.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Natalia is asking, in this age, how safe are the women who assist her business, especially with the cleaning aspects? Maybe if I get Natalia, is talking about safety for the workers, and especially if that you're using, say, so how do we protect these people from all kinds of things?
Okay, so for the water sachets, we actually do not use any extreme detergents. We use the normal Omo that everybody uses at home, the normal washing soap that everybody uses at home. So these women are almost doing the same washing that they do at home, just that this time around they are washing plastic waste. But we understand that these plastic waste are not like clothes; they are not things that they wear. They are taken from dirty environments. And that's why even if you look in the video, most of them are in gloves, if not all of them. Most of them are not even comfortable washing with gloves. You have to insist that they wear the gloves before they are worn. Because they say or bad day, like they always say it in Chi, or bad day, or they will stand there, like they always take pride in using their bare hands to wash. So we have to even insist that these precautions are taken. So for us, safety is one of the things that we really want to ensure, and we do that by using gloves since our plastic waste is taken from dirty environments such as landfills, gutters. You can name them wherever you find the plastic waste.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Joyce is asking, how does she recruit the women? How do you get these women to come and do this work?
Okay, so when Mama Plus started, we had a lady. So she started off by bringing other, I wouldn't want to say vulnerable, but then bringing other friends or women that she felt needed jobs then. So that was how it started off for us. But then there are also some women who hear of the story and then they get there was a lady who got her son to actually call us and tell us that she wanted a job to wash the plastic waste. So we recruit from anywhere possible. If you are available and you want to work with us, that's fine. That's fine. We are open to all of that. Yeah.
Good. All right. Now, um, we know that in Ghana we are very, very religious people. And a lot of the time, for a lot of us, we are sitting and praying that God would open doors and opportunities for us. For you, what place that religion play in your business, and what is your take on how we should marry religion and business, especially what would be your advice to people who are just there praying every day and waiting for God?
Yeah, so for me, I am a Christian. I church with the Church of Pentecost at the Awoshi branch. I think that for miracles to happen, even you should have something. You should have something doing. I have over these few years of working, I've come to realize that miracles actually happen in greater magnitude when you are holding something. I'm not a very biblical person, but that I know that when there had to be the transformation of water into wine, there was water, there was something before it could be transformed into wine. So as individuals, you don't just sit down and fold your arms and hope for miracles to happen. You have to make an effort, and then based on the effort, God will bless you tremendously. I think that's what Christians are able to get, or religion brings to the table. I don't want to just emphasize on Christianity. I'm a Christian, so maybe I'll talk more for the Christian side. But I think generally that's what religion does. Religion is supposed to be the blessing to our hard work. So if you are working hard and then you're a religious person, then you are certain that God is going to bless the works of your hand. But if you have nothing doing, you have no work of the hand, then what exactly is going to be blessed here? So for me, religion and then hard work must go hand in hand. You can't separate the two. It's a combined thing.
All right. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, so I want you to just, with all this, your experience, I want you to share with us maybe 3 or 4 lessons that you have learned on your journey, and that you would like to share with us. What are some of, 4 or 5, any number of lessons that you would like to share with your experience so far?
Okay, so one of the experiences or the lessons that I've learned that I think is very vital is that as a woman, not everybody's out to take advantage of you. I think as women, when we enter into the working space, most of us go in already afraid because the men are going to probably take advantage of you. The older women are going to, bully you here and there. But I've realized that it blocks our blessings. Sometimes we meet people who genuinely care, but then because of the fact that we think everybody's out to get us, we are not able to actually open our arms and open our eyes to see the good that they bring. So that's one of the lessons that I learned along my journey. And another thing that I learned is that I think I've said this quite a number of times, but when you actually decide to do something, it is blessed. Both the universe, religion, all other factors bless it for you. That is another lesson that I've learned because that, for instance, when I started Rama Plus, I didn't expect Rama Plus to blow up this much. I started it mainly with the core mandate to curb plastic pollution. But then here I am, and then now NGOs are insisting that they just want the water sachet aspect of our brand. There are individuals who are patronizing Rama Freak just because we are doing Rama Plus. So I think the whole concept of doing something good has brought a lot more favor to us. And also, learning a skill was never wasted. When I decided to learn the bag making and then the sewing bit, I almost felt like I'm a university graduate. I have my certificate. What is the essence? I mean, I'm going to waste another year or two to do this. But now, when there are no jobs, you know that you have something to fall back on. And it's very necessary to always have a plan B, plan C, every other plan that you can think of. So these are some of the lessons that I've learned along the way, and I am happy I learned them.
And that's very, very impressive. It's not everybody out there to get you. Just be open, keep positive spirit, and then people will help you decide to do something. And when you decide to do something, then you'll be blessed. So do something. What's in your hand? Learning a skill is never wasted. So those are some of the uh, things that Awurama would like us. Please, you've listened to Awurama's story. Share your learning, share your takeaways with us, and then we would share it with the world. Let me see what other comments and questions are coming up, and we'll be beginning to wrap up. Rama, you prepared to tell us your closing thoughts? But I've learned a lot this evening. I've learned so much. So share with us what you are learning this evening. Okay. All right. Thank you, Natalia. You've been very active this evening. Yes, safety first. Yes, miracles occur when you've something in hand. That's very true. I acknowledge that. That's impressive, Natalia says. Becca Ishen says, inspiring. Good job, Awurama. Keep increasing. Great. Natalia says, I'm still not convinced about safety aspect if we should consider the health implications of a staff who appear vulnerable. Well, I believe that what he has said is that, they have all the protective, they're supposed to wear the gloves and what, even though they'll be insisting to use their hands, they're using normal detergents and so on and so forth. So this is really all right. Somebody says she's so beautiful and also living impactful life. That is true. That is true. Okay. The another question there is: are these bags washable? These your nice bags. Are they washable?
Yes, so our bags are washable. When you actually buy a product from us, we have a product care guide, which is part of the package, and it comes and shows you the steps, what to do, what not to do, how to wash the bags, just the general things that will help you keep your bag for as long as possible. So yes, they are able to wash them, but you just need to use some principles so that you do not end up destroying the bag.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Let me see. Let me check in. Let me check in with Sarah before I get to Awurama to give us her closing remarks. And so much. Please share with us your learning as we get ready to come to the end. Sarah, is there anything else you wanted to say?
Yes. So, what is the net worth of your business right now? What is the net worth of the business?
For now, we make sales of over ranges between 10,000 to 45,000 per month, depending on the good months and the bad months. So I think accumulatively we are doing pretty well based on that.
Awesome. Wonderful. And where do you
Good.
want to be economic wise? What is the goal?
Well, we want to main one of the main ways that we get sales is through the international platform. So if brands outside are able to patronize in larger quantities, if they are able to collaborate with brands outside, then these are some of the ways that we'll be able to increase our turnover. And that aside, too, we always say that working with the companies also brings in quite a huge amount of money because they often patronize in bulk, and then that's also helps in terms of income. And then when sales is going on well, then you can think of expansion, you can think of bettering the lives of everyone around you. So we always look forward to putting in marketing strategies and other ways that will increase our turnover. That is one of the things that we are always looking out for.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I don't have any more questions.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thanks. All right. Awurama, this has been very, very, very good. And I believe that a lot more people will learn from this. I've learned a lot from this. You don't have to settle for the usual things. You finish university, you're looking for a job, and you're not getting a job. You don't have to fold your arms. Do something, Rama says. Also, from your passion, you can develop your passion into a business. She had a passion for wrapping her own things, but she developed that into a business. But don't just keep it as passion, add value to it. Rama says she went online to learn about how to wrap the shoes and go on YouTube. So she didn't even have to pay anything. That's another important lesson. The other thing about her learning spirit is that she's a graduate, she was able to go down to the artisans to go and learn from them. Ladies, leaders are learners. You can learn from everywhere, and that's what we are seeing from Awurama. And Awurama she was not starting with money, she was starting with solving a problem. And that is where greatness comes from. Look for a problem and solve it. The bigger the problem you are solving, the bigger the influence, the bigger your leadership. So thank you, Awurama, for that. And I love the way she leads. Okay. She says respect, mutual respect. She's working with other people, people of all classes, people that a lot of us will be looking down upon, but she respects all of them. And that is for me very, very, very good. And leaders need to understand that respect is earned. You have to respect others, involving everybody, creating a friendly environment. In fact, the lessons I've learned, there's so many, there's so many leadership lessons, but I think the great one is the innovation. I mean, we all see all these plastics around, we see all this waste, we have our things, we throw them away. Awurama does not see waste. She's seeing beautiful bags from all these things. So I want to thank you so much. There are so many lessons coming up. Somebody talking about humility. I admire her intelligence and resilience. Best wishes. Thank you for sharing, and so on. So Awurama, thank you so much. Now we want you to share with us your closing thoughts. What do you say to all of us, especially to young ones who are out there struggling, looking for a job, writing CVs, and they're not getting a job? there's something else that I didn't also talk about. What are the support systems that you think young businesses like you would need to be able to go further? So as you wrap up, you may want to share any other thoughts that you think you want us to, or something else I didn't ask that you want to share
Okay.
as we go. We have a
All right.
we have
Firstly, thank you so
10.
much for having me. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure sharing my story and telling the side, the Rama Plus and the Rama Freak side. I think to younger persons out there, if you're in school, I think it's the best space to start because you have an existing market already. You can just start from your classmates, start from your dorm mates. You know, these are people that can carry the message around for you. Free advertisements, sincerely. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I'll say. And with regards to what you can do for younger brands or SMEs, I think mentorship is very important because, as I said here, most of the things that I managed to learn were mostly through try and error strategies. I had to fail a couple of times to learn, but I think if there were proper mentorship programs, then it will be quite easier for younger entrepreneurs to just learn right from start and then be able to make the changes that they need. You know, for instance, if you're an SME and you want to structure your brand, what do you do first? If I have 5,000 cities, I want to go into the sewing industry, what do I do first? So these are questions that everybody feels the answers exist, but these are the very questions that we all struggle with day in, day out. So basically go out there, make a change, and if you have any handwork based on your religion, pray, and then it will be blessed for you. Thanks again for having me.
Thank you so much, Rama. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your story. Thank you for the impact you made. Thank you for your innovative spirit. And we are praying that Rama Freak, when we meet again in a few years' time, the story is going to be even more amazing. And
Amen.
at the Center for Transformational Leadership, we are also here to support you. And guys, if you want bags, you know where to go. You have my contact. Rama, you want to share your contacts, your various contacts and social media and
Okay.
any numbers, any mails that people can reach you so that they
Okay.
can buy bags. We want them to buy bags, more
They
bags.
should. They should. Okay, so our social media handles are RamaFreakGH, RamaFreak as an RAMAFRIQUE, RamaFreak, so RamaFreak GH on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and we also have a website which is www.ramafreak.com. It's still under progress, so hopefully by the end of this week or the end of this month, it should be live again. So these are the places that you can contact us on. If you want to call, you can call us on 055 345 4011. 055 345 4011. It's also on WhatsApp, so either of them will work just fine.
All right. Thank you so very much. All right. So for everybody who joined us on the leadership platform tonight, we want to thank you for spending your time with us. We appreciate you and we pray that God will be with you. As we say all the time, tomorrow is Sunday. Let us go to church and thank God for our life and worship Him. We want to thank Rama. We thank Sarah, thank Kofi and Abigail for the support. And that will be all from me, Sam.
Via in so ne ta got on a die ho etimi yiri pa eyi a etwe bottle so e rubber fin ne ade pure tenwura ebi okura na etwoku etimi ba bedu ye dem ɛda no kora ne ɛda hɔ anadwo ɛte wɔ asa da no nsuo ne tɔ kɛseɛ paa ɛbɛwura hɔ yɛda hɔ a yɛte sɛ ayɛ nneɛma afɔ ne matches no afɔ yɛbɛhwɛ a nsuo no ɛduru hɔ kora a wotia mu kora da wo sɛ nti ɛwɔ mu koraa na abayɛ dan mu nyinaa yɛtɔ da bi koraa sɛbi memmɔ den agyanan koraa no itumi twi bebu ya aboboa na no bebree ayi sɛ nsuo na atwekɔ na wapla na wapeki pure water rubbers no ewu mu na wasi ano hwɛ tɔ da bi efie hɔ yɛ pɛkyɛpɛkyɛpɛkyɛ ne ade nti ɔmo ntumi ne mu ɔmo kwan kora na ɔmo apie na ɔmo akɔ sukuu aja no we pam sɛ no esiba aja no we pam sɛ no edu ɔmo pa me ne me nuanom a yɛni adwuma papa yɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛhyia ne yɛaba baabi a yɛyɛ pure water rubbers no yɛhyia ɔmo mpo na ɔmo wɔ m'akyi wɔ ha no si no nti yɛba a ebi twitwa na ebi nso ɛwɔ hye ne yɛ hata na ebi nso eyiyi de ahyɛ rubber mu ɛnyɛ kɛseɛ nso ɛyɛ.
I started using plastic waste in 2019 after the June 3rd flood. Mainly the water sachets is one of the most popular pollutants in Ghana. And by doing bags since 2013, I figured either I wanted to help to curb the plastic pollution problem, then it will be easier to infuse that with my bag production process.
Ne nyinaa yɛ sika sɛ mu ne sika a wɔde bɛkɔ akɔ ha bia na wɔsɛ bia wohyɛ hɔ no ma wowɔ sika bakɔ ha bia ɛne gye paa sɛ sɛda bi koraa mesɔre a yɛhu baabi a yɛkɔ ebi a paa sɛ wokɔpɛ paa koraa di a wonya twɔba koraa nkɔ ɛden ate sɛ wokɔpɛ yɛ certificate sɛ certificate den ansa na yɛafa wɔ twɔba nso wei ne baayɛ deɛ abɛboa yɛsɔre anɔpa a yɛhu sɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛba ha ne aba abɛboa ne yɛnya bibi kakra kɔ fie akɔhwɛ nkwalaa no.
You see, the only thing you got to worry about tomorrow is making sure that you make today count. This is your day to learn how to change your world.
I need you to focus on why you were born.
Let's not lose what made us, but let's grip the future and let's become the best version for next year.
Most success is when a person develops ordinary qualities to an extraordinary degree through the application of hard, sustained work.
Now, for some people, this is not easy, but there is no good reason for not doing it.
You and I were created to make a difference.